Elon Musk has said that the Tesla Model S Plaid features some of the most advanced secret technology on Earth. What are these practically alien innovations he's referring to? Come along for a drive with me, and let's explore the most interesting technical highlights of the vehicle. The 2022 Tesla Model S Plaid is a Frankenstein creation of the 0 to 60 EV arms race. Half grocery sedan, $500,000 hypercar. A polite, whizzing and beeping robot on wheels whose acceleration outpaces human reaction time and humbles every other car on the road.
When you step into the cockpit, you're entering a new automotive paradigm that will redefine your perception of time and space. A universe where 120 miles per hour is 60 miles per hour, and the controls are a low-latency human-machine interface tied directly into your nervous system.
Elon described the car as a spaceship, and while the driving experience is out of this world, and a yoke is normally found on an aircraft, the Tesla Model S Plaid is the quickest production car on Earth. The Plaid features a few key upgrades that push the limits of physics and make it different than any Tesla before it. Let's first bring the car behind enemy lines at the drag track and explore her most publicized feature. The Model S Plaid has a special drag strip mode to produce maximum acceleration for racing and demonstration. Select drag mode and the Plaid Tesla begins a high-performance thermal-regulation regime, running glycol through the heat exchanger to cool synthetic oil which is pumped to the vehicle's 3 drive units, 1 up front and 2 in the rear. Push down on the brake and accelerator simultaneously, and the car's front end crouches into a cheetah stance in preparation for launch. Foot off the brake, and the vehicle launches. Notice the front end lifts slightly skywards as the weight is gravimetrically transferred to the rear tires during peak acceleration. The acceleration is a physical experience. The G-force pushes your spine into your seat horizontally with a force over 1.2 times your body weight. This low-vibration, linear acceleration feels like a pulling sensation, as if an invisible steel cable was steadily pulling you down the track, as opposed to a combustion-engined car, which feels more like being pushed along by a rumbling rocket. But what makes the Plaid's powertrain different than any other electric car on the road? The rear motor assembly is the Plaid's most significant upgrade. It consists of 2 souped-up Model 3 drive units placed back-to-back, housed symmetrically inside a precision aluminum subframe. These rear motors are coupled directly to each wheel with a single-speed transmission. In electric vehicles, you really only need 1 gear because the motors operate at higher RPMs than internal combustion engines and produce stronger torque at low RPMs. Essentially, the Plaid needs to reduce the speed of rotation from the high-speed electric motor to deliver optimal wheel torque. Tesla opted for a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio, which means that for every 7.5 turns of the rotor, the spinning component inside the motor, the tire will complete 1 full rotation. So to achieve Tesla's stated top speed of 200 miles per hour, the motor would need to redline at approximately 24,000 RPM. To achieve such high performance, Tesla had to think outside the box and incorporate some exotic materials and novel engineering methods. It's hard to grok how powerful these little motors are. At max RPMs, this whining hot mass of neodymium magnets is so energetically dense, it's like a little pulsar star. Just like the battery and range equation, the limitations and constraints of EV motor performance come down to material science and engineering. It's just hard to make a motor this size spin that fast without it blowing apart or overheating. All 3 permanent magnet synchronous reluctance motors contain an innovative carbon fiber sleeved rotor instead of a traditional metal sleeved rotor. This carbon fiber sleeve constrains the copper rotor from expanding due to radial acceleration, permitting higher RPMs and creating a stronger electromagnetic field. This gives the car a very linear power band, with peak horsepower at 80 miles per hour all the way up to 200 miles per hour. Although the current top speed is electronically limited to 163 miles per hour to keep things reasonable. But the incredible thing about modern EVs is that they're fundamentally controlled by software, and massive performance gains can be unlocked with over-the-air updates. But why is Uncle Elon holding back? Is he scared to give Tesla customers more car than they can handle? It appears a software update can unlock double-century speed, but you might need some hardware upgrades if you want to be able to stop. A curious listing for a Plaid carbon ceramic brake kit popped up on Tesla's website, and it seems Tesla is waiting to ship this improved stopping power before they unlock 200 miles per hour to regular customers. Elon frequently argues that building a factory is about 100 times harder than building a car, and it's the machine that builds the machine that represents the greatest engineering challenge. For the carbon-sleeved rotor, this proved true yet again. On Twitter, Elon said the Plaid carbon wrap motor is arguably the most advanced motor on Earth outside of maybe a lab somewhere. We have to keep some secrets. Elon is referring to the manufacturing process. Tesla found a way to tightly wrap the rotor in carbon fiber without the use of heat, which could weaken the magnets. They accomplish this by winding the fiber over the rotor at a high-tension load with a custom machine designed by Tesla Automation. It's incredible how all this engineering work happens on the back end, but let's talk about the differences you can actually see. In terms of design, notice the wider fender flares to accommodate wider wheels, different rear paneling, a reworked hood, plus a carbon fiber spoiler. The bulging bodywork signals the vehicle's more powerful internals, but in electric vehicles, there's no need for a long sweeping hood, massive air intake, or a big shiny grille. Cargo cult relics of 125 years of luxury heat engine design tradition. The Tesla Plaid maintains an understated appearance with subtle hints that it contains something extraordinary, but somehow still manages the lowest drag coefficient of any production car ever built.
What's fast you been with it so far?
This car I'm running about 9.5 seconds.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, it's stock. Completely stock.
Tesla type S, right?
What do you think about electric cars?
I think Tesla's bad as hell.
What is this thing run?
It's a garage car, so you know you can't tell time that the garage car's a race for money car.
Oh, okay.
It's good. But I see the record's 916 in those right now, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, 916. That's flying, man. I think Tesla did a great job with these cars. I like them. I really like them.
The record quarter-mile speed for the Plaid is 9 seconds at 154 miles per hour, and the car produces 1,020 horsepower and 1,050 pound-feet of torque. But there's a lot more to a car than just driving fast in a straight line. Normally, a yoke is found on aircraft, where a pilot can actually pull up to control altitude, pitch, and roll. On the Tesla, it's just a steering wheel with the top half cut off. It can be a bit disorienting at low speeds until you get used to it, and it takes a bit of practice. Tesla is setting the table for fully autonomous driving with a smaller, more compact steering profile that reduces central gauge cluster obstruction. It's a spooky sight to see that yoke moving all on its own while cornering sharp turns. But how does it actually work, mechanically? First, a word from our sponsors. The Flow Home X5 charging station provides a best-in-class Level 2 home charging experience. Its aluminum casing is well suited for indoor or outdoor usage, and it's certified to operate between the temperature ranges of -40 degrees Fahrenheit to 122 degrees Fahrenheit, providing a smooth home charging experience regardless of your climate. Its network functionality integrates well with the Flow app, and you can schedule or monitor your session to allow for the personalization and optimization of charging. Plus, if you need help setting it up and troubleshooting, Flow offers 24/7 customer support to help you get any potential issues solved quickly and easily. Click the link in the description below for an exclusive discount on the Flow Home X5. The Model S Plaid uses a rack and pinion steering system. When you turn the yoke, you're engaging a gear which translates the rotational motion into linear motion, moving the direction of the wheels from side to side with a little electric assist. All pretty standard so far, but here's where things get autonomous. There's a simple brushless DC motor and control board mounted right on the steering rack inside the front subframe. When autopilot is engaged, this motor drives a belt connected directly to the input shaft, turning the yoke just like a human driver would. This elegant belt-driven steering rack is robust enough to handle the maneuvering demands of any real-life scenario, as soon as the software can catch up to this crazy simulation we call reality. On the road, the car feels balanced and sporty, but you can sense the power-assisted steering compensating for the extra weight of the battery. The Plaid's ride height is a bit lower than previous models, which improves handling, and it's bolstered by Tesla's new air suspension with adaptive damping. A computer is pinging sensors on the car's suspension 1,000 times per second, making rapid adjustments to minimize body roll and isolate road imperfections. On the rear wheels, all torque vectoring is done electronically by controlling the frequency of power supplied to the motors with silicon carbide MOSFETs in the inverter. Stability control systems measure your steering and pedal inputs against each wheel's available grip, adjusting torque to give you the best traction. By using precise torque vectoring on the two rear electric motors located on the same axle, launch and handling characteristics are improved. The car's performance and handling is undisputed, as demonstrated by way better drivers than me. The Nürburgring racetrack in Germany has emerged as the ultimate proving ground to test the performance of electric vehicles and provides perfect real-world conditions to test attributes such as speed, acceleration, braking, and handling. In September of 2021, an unmodified Tesla Model S Plaid set a new lap record for electric production cars at the Nürburgring, with an official lap time of 7 minutes and 35 seconds, with an average speed of 103 miles per hour. These performance figures are impressive, and it makes sense that electric cars are beating combustion-engined vehicles. Fundamentally, electric propulsion operates at far greater thermal efficiency than combustion engines, which lose lots of energy as excess heat, but EVs do come with their own unique challenges. When thinking about electric cars, the heating and cooling system might not be the first thing to come to mind, but this seemingly insignificant detail has a big effect on the vehicle's range, because electric cars can lose up to 40% of their range in cold weather if you turn the heat on full blast. The new HVAC system on the Model S Plaid uses a heat pump which provides 30% longer range and requires 50% less energy in cold weather than the previous generation Model S. There's one thing on the 2022 Tesla Model S Plaid that hasn't changed since the original Tesla Roadster was released in 2008. The battery pack still consists of standard cylindrical 18650 cells, not yet the larger 4680 cells revealed during Tesla's Battery Day in May of 2021. In the Plaid S, they've scaled down the battery capacity from 104 kWh to a slightly smaller 100 kWh pack with improved cooling and electrical architecture. The goal is to ensure the battery can meet the high performance requirements of the Plaid without overheating or losing power. The pack contains 7,920 cells, arranged into 5 modules separated by a cooling manifold that channels glycol in a zigzag pattern across the entire pack. This allows impressive charge times. The car can add up to 187 miles of range in just 15 minutes at a supercharger. Eventually, instead of using modules, Tesla plans to structurally integrate the battery cells directly into the platform of the vehicle. This design will reduce the total mass of the battery pack and improve efficiency. You can make improvements to the thermal regulation and architecture of a battery pack for greater efficiency and faster charging speeds, but the car's modest 396-mile range is really limited fundamentally by the chemical power-to-weight ratio of the lithium-ion battery cells. This might be the last Plaid Tesla we see with the old cells before Tesla makes the switch to those big soda cans currently slotted for the Model Y, Semi, and Cybertruck. The jumbo 4680s are expected to achieve a 5 times increase in energy storage, a 16% increase in range, and a 6 times increase in power. On a Tesla earnings call, Elon outlined his plan to consolidate Tesla's batteries down to 2 or 3 form factors, one with a nickel-based cathode for high-powered vehicles, and the other iron-based for mass-market cars like the Tesla Model 3. Now let's hop in the cabin and briefly discuss the car's interior. The Plaid's interior is totally reworked from previous models, and not to disappoint, but the interior does not actually contain any plaid fabric. In fact, the seats are made out of vegan leather. The term plaid comes from the science fiction movie Spaceballs. When their spaceship travels beyond ludicrous speed, the stars warp and create a plaid pattern. The nomenclature is starting to make more sense now, right? The car has very strong noise, vibration, and harshness dampening, which counterintuitively is very important for electric cars because they don't have a rumbling motor to mask squeaks and creaks. The cabin is like being inside a pair of noise-canceling headphones. The car features active noise-canceling microphones that detect ambient sounds, and the car's speakers generate opposite sound waves that collide and eliminate the unwanted noise. That said, pretty much everything inside is brand new for 2022. The center console gets a new landscape-oriented 17-inch touchscreen, and from there you control all aspects of operation. Powered by an AMD Ryzen processor, it's responsive and packed with Tesla's signature entertainment features. New for 22 is Tesla's predictive touchscreen gear selector. Tesla believes all input is error, and the car is meant to predict what direction you want to go based on the environment. For example, if there's a wall in front of you, you probably want to back up. Tesla plans to keep minimizing input until the car can eventually read your mind, maybe literally. Lastly, the 2 inductive cell phone chargers are a nice touch, as wires are the last impediment to civilized computing. If you're accustomed to the sound of a rumbling motor and the noxious aroma of burning hydrocarbons in your nostrils, it's tough to accept that the Tesla Model S Plaid is the quickest production car in the world. But the car was made to prove a point, to demonstrate electric cars can be the fastest and safest cars on the road. As Elon put it, the Plaid is safer than a Volvo and faster than a Porsche. Tesla isn't stopping with just the sedan. They're even going beyond ludicrous in the SUV form factor too, with a Plaid Tesla Model X. The Tesla Model S Plaid is a car for practical folks that appreciate performance over showiness and want to ride on the bleeding edge of technological progress. And when all comparisons to your daily driver sedan are with 7-figure hypercars, you know you're in good company. Thanks to Try a Tesla for loaning me the black and white Tesla for this video. If you're ever in the South Florida area and want to try a Tesla, visit tryatesla.com. We showcase cutting-edge sustainable technology. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you believe in an electric future, please subscribe to our channel.